Hi guys, this is Sarah,
This is Dennis.
and this is Playbook, where we don't
Always
always
play it by the book.
book.
All right, cool. So this is chapter 4, and we're going to be featuring Sarah. So I'll be asking her a series of questions. Okay, so you guys are going to get to know Sarah really, really well by the end of this session. Okay, whether that's
I'm
good,
scared.
bad, I don't know. We'll find out.
God damn, Dennis.
All right,
Take it easy.
let's start easy first.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
Ease it in, ease it in.
ease.
That's what
nice-
he said.
yeah. Okay. All right. So, what are 3 things you could buy in a grocery/convenience store that the cashier would give you weird looks?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm sure we all know, but we just want to hear it, right? We just want to hear it.
um, probably.
Just say it.
Probably a sex toy. Or
At
wait.
a convenience and grocery store? Where do you
No, you
find
can
that?
get it at Guardians, you know?
No.
Yes.
Where?
Not Guardians, Watson. In BV. I'm 100% sure.
There's no way they would sell that in a pharmacy or a
Do you want to
convenience
bet?
store.
Let's place a bet right now
I'll
with the
place
listeners.
I'll place a bet. Huh?
Okay?
They do?
Fucking hell, Jade, wait until he placed the bet.
Okay.
Okay, so
Looks like, guys, you don't need to go to a sex store. You just need to go to your local pharmacy,
Watson.
Watson, to go and get a sex toy. I
Hey,
didn't know
ladies,
about that. I didn't
or
know.
men, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. If you gotta buy it, just buy it. You do you. Okay, so that's 1. 2, maybe plan B,
Okay.
right?
True.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Another one would probably be like a lot of lube. Like a lot. Like not much. You don't you don't stop at one. You go buy like a whole the whole rack.
she's a dry one there.
Like, she's a hoarder.
She's a desert.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
rhetorical.
Yeah, those are one of those like things where you go in and you put it on the on the cashier, the counter. You don't make
Yeah.
eye contact.
Yeah,
you
no.
just
And if there's a face mask, like you put a face mask and you just like and you're paying. So,
yeah.
You know, like protective measures.
We all go through that. If
Yeah.
you haven't, well, you will.
The
will.
time will come.
Okay. Now, second. I'm gonna ask you exactly what you just asked me on the last series. What is your biggest pet peeve? It can be
Okay.
in a working environment or just in general.
Okay, so this is gonna sound really weird, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when I go to a public place, and you walk through. You want to go to the toilet, right? And my biggest pet peeve is when the girl's toilet is after the guy's toilet,
Why?
because growing up, I always read news about like girls getting mugged or whatever. Then I have this like image in my head, like if it's closer to, if the girl's bathroom is closer, then I feel more protected. But then if the guy's toilet is before the girl's, then the guys can be waiting for me and like just like catch me as I'm walking back. So I don't know, it's a very irrational pet peeve. But every single time when I go to a mall and I see the girl's toilet after, I'm like, damn, that's a pet peeve. Yeah.
That's a very good point. I've never really actually ever saw. I never really paid attention to that actually. But that's actually a really good thing to bring up because if we see like common cases of kidnapping or
Yeah.
things where females get assaulted, then
It's always near the toilet, right?
yeah, or in areas that are like quite private.
Private,
right? Yeah.
exactly, like secluded. Yeah.
That's a good one. I never realized.
So that's just one pet peeve that I just rationalize in my head, and then it just stuck with me until today. Yeah.
Now I'll never look at toilets
Toilets
the same way.
So
Shit.
now when I see toilets where it's equal entrance, like there's a hallway
Yeah.
then it meets, then I'm fine with that.
Ah.
But if it's something like a long pathway that you walk, the girls preferably should be first and then the guys.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Supermarkets, anywhere you guys are paying attention to this, take note.
Time to do some renovations, guys.
Safety. All right. Now we're still easing in. We're still easing
damn.
in. Okay,
Okay.
but we're gonna get to know you a little bit more.
All right.
Now, I want to know what is the most illegal thing you've done. Now, I'm not sure if it's so illegal, you might not be able to say it in front of the camera here. Okay?
Yeah.
So maybe choose something that is like
Mild.
yeah, mild.
Okay, define illegal.
Illegal where you can get in trouble. Where like doesn't mean you have to get caught by like the police, but like it just it's something
Okay.
that people would say something like
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Okay.
It's like if you were in Singapore and then like you are chewing gum and you
Oh.
place like then people would say something, right? So like I mean like that technically it's illegal because you're going
Okay.
in slow. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was 15 and I just finished PMR, so when you're 15 you have this really big exam, like middle school before you go to senior year. And when I was 15 and I was with my best friend Alia and my cousin, and we were like, oh, let's celebrate, I've never tried alcohol. So we went to KK Mart in Hartamas, and you can get alcohol there for really, really cheap, like
It's
5,
those
7
cheap-
ringgit.
yeah.
The next day you're like,
And those are the ones that like get
gives you the worst
yeah,
hangovers. So I remember walking, because I didn't know how to drive then. So I walked all the way from my house in Montclair all the way to Hartamas, bought a shitload of alcohol, maybe like 2-3 bottles, and then put it in my handbag, and then we walked back. And walking back, there's this like alleyway where there's a police car.
Sounds so sketchy
I
right now.
know. Police car, and then there's just 2 policemen just standing outside, and they're just like looking at us, and we're looking at them, and they're like, come here. And then I'm so panicky, and my cousin's like freaking out behind me because we have alcohols in the bag, right? And then all of us are underage, like about 15.
Yeah.
So then we walked over, and I was walking really fast, which I shouldn't have because it showed that I was a bit too eager.
Yes.
So I walked too fast, and then he was just like, "Pergi mana ni?" in Malay, so it means like, "Where you going, huh?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home balik rumah. Kat sana je, dekat je sini, like really close by." So I was like, "Okay." Adik okay ke? Okay. I know asking me if I'm okay. And after I was
For the
okay lah.
record, guys, she's translating because I don't know Malay. We gotta, like, why
But
she-
I feel like I gotta get in the mood, you gotta say it in Malay. So
Yeah,
then
it's tough to say, yeah.
he was like, okay lah, then balik lah, go home. And I was like, okay. Then we walk back. Dude, that moment, I remember just 50 meters, right? I was like, my
Sweat,
piss
yeah.
were sweating so
I can
much.
see you like the
I'm
drops.
getting anxious right now just
Yeah.
talking about it. Yeah, so that was the scariest moment of my life. Because imagine if they just
call
asked me
you.
like, oh, can I see what's in your bag? We're fucked.
What time was this?
Like 10,
10.
9, 10 maybe. Yeah, it was pretty late after dinner. Yeah,
Wow.
that was probably the most illegal thing I did.
That's not
Too
as
bad.
That's not as bad as I think she played it a little bit. She gave us she gave us the safe version. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's more behind that.
I'll tell you more after.
Yeah. So, but just for this purpose, we're gonna keep it PG-13.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's go into music. I know you're a big music fan, right?
Yeah, I do like music. I do like the beats,
The beats.
the
Okay.
tunes.
How does your music, or I should say the genre of music, change based on what you're doing? So let's say from your chill to your workout, do you listen to the same type of music, or is it all within the same, let's say, same group? You know what I mean?
I love this question, by the way. This is a great question.
I know. Right?
Oh, damn. Mad props. Good job. Okay, so... Okay, when I'm driving, I have a playlist. I like it slow and easy, like chill beats, but not really beats. It's more like indie alternative. Something that's nice to listen to for an easy drive.
Puts you in a good mood.
Yeah,
right?
and then
Yeah.
I just want to be like, I just want to take it easy. So when I'm driving, I have a different playlist. When I'm working out, I used to really like rap, and I still do, but I think I've played it.
For the record, if you guys have never heard this person when she's working out, she listens to the most hood rat type of stuff. And I mean like the stuff where the music is talking about like drugs, sex, like gangs.
Definitely not PG-13.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really like rap when I work out, but now I start to transition back to listen to psytrance. Yeah, because I realize like the tempo is so fast that when I'm doing it, I don't waste time. I feel like I'm a lot more faster with my workout. Whereas,
Like it sets the pace.
yes.
Okay.
Whereas with rap, I would like sometimes take it easy, you know, wait for that.
That specific, I would
Yes.
say, that chorus
hook of the song,
yes,
yes.
the hook, right? Yeah.
Whereas when it's, for me, I like Psy because when I'm working out, then I realize when I'm resting, sometimes the beat is chilling, and then as I start the set again, it drops. So that's the bestest part.
So you just like, you know right away, okay, you're gonna go get a sip of water, and then
Yeah.
you know you gotta rush back just to match that,
exactly,
yes, that drop.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it keeps me like, it helps me stick to my rest times a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think everyone definitely has a driving playlist and a workout playlist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Even a home playlist. So my home playlist, I listen to the ones I drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and chill, right?
Nice and chill.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So we got music. Now let's go to food. Okay.
Okay.
So, what is now because we're obviously here in Malaysia? I want to know what is your favorite or your most favorite Malaysian food
Okay.
and Western food.
Oh, damn. Oh my god, there's so many.
One.
Okay. I really love kway teow.
Kway teow.
I love noodles.
Now,
So kway teow is my jam.
now we're saying just like any type of kway teow.
It has to be Penang. Penang.
Oh,
Penang.
okay.
No, but I don't like it too wet.
A bit dry,
like
but
it
you don't
more
want
drier side.
not too
Not
dry.
not
as
too
well.
dry, yeah.
Ah.
Like this is a really bad place to name it because it's so commercial, but I really love Madam Kwan's char kway teow.
Madam Kwan.
Have you tried?
I have not tried Madam
Oh damn,
Kwan's.
it's so good because every single time consistently it like hits the spot.
But is that Penang style?
I think so because on the
Okay.
menu it says like Penang char kway teow. Yeah, and usually I like it with seafood. Yeah. So
Nice.
definitely kway
Okay,
teow.
well, I will definitely vouch to say that, Penang char kway teow is definitely
Pretty up there.
It's worth the hype.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all the
Naysayers.
yes, okay, you gotta go and try it. Okay.
Try it and then naysay if you want, but then don't try it and then say shit about it.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
agree. So that's Malaysian. What's Western?
I'm gonna say burgers. Like that's my guilty pleasure.
Like
Yeah.
any type.
I love beef. I love beef burgers.
Beef burgers.
Like the ones in what's the name of the place? Burger Lab is pretty good.
Oh, okay. Definitely.
You know?
If you're talking in terms of quality,
Yeah.
Burger Lab takes a spot.
Definitely, like for Western burgers, like they're the best. Because I've tried KGB. Like I know Riz loves KGB, but I think it's a bit too dry for me.
Too dry?
Yeah, because like for me, the bun has to be soft enough, but doughy enough that it matches the.
Yes.
The
yeah.
meat, you know?
Because sometimes what happens is the bun is already too soggy.
Yeah.
And then like there is no, you don't taste it. It's like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
But have you tried a Romney burger?
I have. That was like a while back. I already forgot where it
Man.
was. It was I think somewhere in like
Romney burger.
PJ, somewhere
PJ?
there. Yeah.
Once I'm done with the comp, I'll bring one for you.
Yeah.
It's the Romney beef burger. It's freaking lit, dude. So good. But you need to have two because it's so tiny, like the patty, and it doesn't really fill you up, so you kind of need two to finish. I'll bring it for you next time.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go a little bit deeper.
Okay, hit me. I'm
What
ready.
is your biggest fear?
Wow.
Now this can be from like anything.
Does it have to go like deep? Because I know what's my small biggest
You
fear.
can go from small.
Okay, so from small, my biggest fear is rats.
Rats.
But I hate rats. Like,
Wow.
they freak me out.
You're
No.
here in Malaysia. Anytime
No,
you eat
I know.
out on
So no, you know I can kill a cockroach with my bare hands and not
That's
flinch.
gross.
No, but I don't think that's gross. But if I see a rat come near me, I can't. I can't do it. So that's my biggest fear. Tiny one.
Okay, I mean, for me, both are actually quite bad. But the fact that you can kind of crush a cockroach with your bare hands is actually that's a little bit. Yeah.
It's a bit of a rat.
Yeah.
She's from the projects.
Yeah.
No, so I did it once when I was in my toilet and I was gonna get ready for the shower, right? So there was a cockroach like just on my, like walking on my, near my sink, and I just, pop, and I just threw it in the bin and I washed my hands after and I had a shower. Because it doesn't really gross me out, because with hands, like you can always wash your hands.
I know, but it's the fact that it's so crunchy. Like you don't feel that. Most of the time when I do it, I need like 10 rolls of like paper towels, and it's like I won't go piece by piece. I will literally roll that shit out, rip it, fold it until it's like one big brick.
So you don't feel it.
I don't feel it. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't. That it creeps like.
It creeps you
gives
out.
me the shivers when I feel it in my hand, and it's
see.
like.
I think it's the OCD peeping through.
Maybe.
Right?
But I think other people can agree, like Liz. Okay.
Yeah. Is he scared of cockroaches?
Yes.
Okay.
The flying ones.
Dude, the flying ones
Those
are the
are-
worst because you can't kill them.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
spray them with shell tops.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest fear would be dying. Which is, yeah, like I developed this fear, I think shortly after my youngest brother, who was 32 when he passed away, like this year in March. And then like I was grieving, and I was getting okay, but then I watched this movie called Anne Boleyn. Have you seen it?
No, I
Anne
don't think
Boleyn.
so.
I think that's the name. And there was this scene where towards the end where the main actress, Natalie Portman, she was gonna get killed by guillotine, right?
Oh wow.
And the whole and I've seen that movie like at least 7-8 times, okay? But then that fear that I have was like right now, the dying one, that was triggered by that scene where the character
The head
was
comes
zoomed
off.
in, and then she was in fear. You can see the fear in her eyes, and then the guillotine comes off, and then her head got snapped off. And I think that triggered like these flow of thoughts, right? That like you can be in so much fear, and then suddenly in the blink of an eye, like you're done. And then I think the fear that stems for me is what happens after. Is it a blackness? Is there an afterlife? And I guess it goes down to my faith not being strong enough, right? If you have right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that was a fear that I had. So for a few months after that, after March, even if I watch Avengers and then there's scenes where people get killed, like how in superhero movies it's so fast and then people get killed all the time. So when I see that, and I get a really heavy feeling in my chest, I feel so anxious. So
you just cannot stand the fact
that when people
not just yourself. I mean,
yeah, but
dying,
then
but just other people around
exactly.
you.
And then I go too deep in my mind. I'm like, oh, but this person, like before they died, they probably had a life, and suddenly boom, and then blink of an eye, it's done, and they didn't even expect it. So then I think my husband Faiz, he said this. He was like, maybe this fear comes from you feeling like you haven't done enough with your life. Like maybe you're not living your best life.
True.
So when you stop living in fear and you feel like, I've done everything that I could, I've become the kindest person I can be, then if you do die, you can die peacefully, right?
You know that people will remember you for
Yeah.
something.
Maybe not for something, maybe you've done enough with your life to really set peace up. Yeah.
Question: did any of these thoughts occur to you under the influence?
No.
Of like there's some puff there.
No. No, so I actually don't. I've actually stopped puffing because I get too anxious in my mind.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think I can see that. I
Yeah.
think we all can see that.
Yeah.
But I see.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. I think everyone is at some point scared of dying, so you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. But now it's gotten a lot better. Like I'm just living my best life now. But
YOLO.
YOLO, bitch.
YOLO.
Not so YOLO.
Okay, so that was your fear.
Okay.
Now, let's go into why you're here, right?
Okay.
Now, I'm curious. You were, how long were you? Now, I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but Sarah was actually originally a client here. How long were you training here as a client? I always forget.
Maybe since August up until December.
Just
So
two,
like
just 2 months.
4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Sorry.
Bruh.
Sorry there. Mine's not working there. Okay.
4 months.
4
yeah.
months. I see. 4 months, and then that was when you knew you wanted to be a part of this. You want to be a coach.
Maybe in November I knew because I think did I tell you about the progression. I didn't even knew that I wanted to become a coach up until I had that conversation with CJ in the sofa at the back.
I see.
So I remember coming in, and this is when I've already realized that, oh, you know, my passion is fitness. I really want to help people. So my initial knee-jerk reaction was, okay, you know, I should open up a gym. Because if I had my own business, then maybe it would make it more okay to leave my family business behind, right? To my dad, like, hey, you know, like, I'm not just leaving you. I'm gonna start my own thing, right?
That's always a thing when you have like a family business.
Yeah.
And I've encountered a lot where it's very difficult for you to kind of say no, because for you, a part of you is like
Obligation.
Yeah, it's your family,
Yeah.
right? You want to be there to help them,
Yeah.
right? So I totally get that, but I think it's also quite brave that you kind of step out of that, because I know many who cannot do that, where they will. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing, right,
Yeah.
to stay in the family business. It is, but if your heart's not really there and you feel like, some people tell me that they feel like they overwork, they're underpaid, which is mostly the case when you're
Yeah.
working in a family business, but you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the thought that helps me get through that is, you know, yes, I'm so scared of disappointing my parents, right? But then at the end of the day, like, you can't live your life for your parents. Because at the end of the day, like, the first person that you listen to when you wake up and the last person that you listen to before you go to sleep is yourself. So this you that you're listening to, are you content with what you're doing? Like, are you fulfilled? That is always a question I always go back to. Like, you know, yes, I was very comfortable, I made this much amount, but it comes down to, hey, am I fulfilled? Like, what I'm doing, does it bring me joy? So I'm a very feeling type of person, so these are the questions that I always go back to, you know. And then, so when I feel, okay, you know, I'm not really fulfilled, the pay is good, the hours are good, but if I'm not fulfilled, like if I don't wake up in the morning like eager to start my day, then am I really living, you know? So that was a huge plunge forward. And then I was telling CJ, I was telling him about my plans of opening up a gym, and I was actually going to open up F45 in Sabah.
You know what's funny is that I'm actually seeing a lot of those advertisements
Yeah.
on Instagram, also Facebook, where they're saying like, get in now, the
Yeah.
fastest growing business, own your own
Exactly.
F45. Yeah.
Dude, and they're growing
Yeah,
really,
they are.
really,
They
really
are.
fast. Like,
Yeah.
so I wanted to open one in Sabah, and then I was talking to CJ about it. And actually, before that, Riz was the one who told me this very simple sentence, right? He said, you know, before you open up a gym, why don't you first, you need to understand how a gym works.
Yeah, which is true.
If you want to know how a gym works, you need to work in one first. So maybe be an intern. He didn't even mention the word coach yet. And it was only after this back and forth with CJ, and then it made me realize, like, dude, what the hell? Like, of course you had to be a coach first before you open up a gym, right? Because being a coach, you can really get on that intimate level, like one-on-one with your clients, and really see like, hey, like, you know, these are the needs that are not being met. And when I have my own business, I can take these needs into consideration and fulfill them a lot better, right? And it's so much more valuable in your decision making asana when you actually put in the hours and get the experience yourself, rather than going straight to the top, opening your own business, and it's all these little gaps in between.
Yes,
that
correct.
you don't really know what's going on.
Yep.
You don't know, okay, how are the hours really affecting
Plus,
my
it's
coaches?
also a brand new industry for you as well.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I wanted to start from the bottom, and I wanted to learn from the very very start. So I decided to become a coach.
And the thing is, the bottom is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, if you ever start your business, the people who work for you are those people. They're going to be the coaches. So
exactly.
if you know, or rather, if you are the type of coach that, you know, that people look up to or people that want to be, you know, that's the type of people that you would want to have in your own gym.
Exactly.
Right? Or else what tends to happen is you can just get, you know, I mean, here's the thing. Nowadays, it's quite easy to be a coach. Okay, that's just being straight up. Most people will just kind of, you know, send them their resume, and you could have someone with no prior experience just go in and they can be a fitness instructor. They can teach a group class, but you know, there's more and more behind that.
Yeah.
So if you want to build a long-lasting business, then I think it's great that you actually started from the bottom because you know how it works from, you know, from your coaches to obviously now even getting involved with some projects, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, is actually a pretty big thing there.
And I feel like, you know, playground is a really good place. I'm sure you can agree, because I think our learning curve is so steep, because you're not just learning about coaching, like it transcends that. We learn so much more, like managing projects, you know, doing this podcast, and it allows us to really branch out and try all these other things. And you know, the thing about learning, I mean, I say start from the bottom, right? But the thing about learning, as an individual, you can't really have any ego when it comes to learning, right?
I
Because
agree.
you have to understand that, hey, like, you know, I have to start somewhere, and any ego you have has to be shed off. And sometimes if you don't know something, you can't have that ego to be like, you know, paise to ask someone how it works. You just have to like, hey, you know, I'm doing this because I want to increase my knowledge. I'm going to ask this person who probably knows the answer that I don't.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And no matter what level you are, I mean, you look at even Nick, right, our program director. You know, someone even at his level still has to continually learn and ask questions, right? So
exactly.
it's being a coach is no matter what, you just have to continually learn. It's a process, and if you're not continually learning, then you're just being stagnant, right? And what's going to happen is then it's going to affect your clients as well.
And when you're stagnant, there's no personal growth.
There's no growth.
Yeah.
There's no growth. Wow.
Good question.
I know.
Pretty deep, that one.
It's a bit deep, because I don't think anyone knows that. I don't think anyone knows that you were a previous client.
Yeah, I was a client in the gym. I was training with Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was and the thing is, if some of you guys who have been to playground, if you ever been here when Sarah's training, you always know she's in the gym because she makes some noises.
No,
when she
I
trains.
don't. It's only doing bench presses.
She lets out some grunts, some groans. I'm not sure about moans, but
no moan.
yeah. Okay. Now, now we're talking, you know, getting more personal. Now, what are some of the things that you do when you're upset, when you're angry? I mean, you know, some people are very, how do I say, visual, right? Where if you say something they don't like or something happens, you can see it right away on their face. How do you personally how do you handle that?
Like, what do I do when I see someone upset?
Yourself.
When I see myself upset.
When you get upset. When something
Upsets
happens,
me.
yes, you know, you get frustrated, you get angry. What do you do to manage that?
That's a good question. Because I think I don't get upset very often.
Wow.
But I don't know, I think, I would like to think that I don't, but then I'm sure that there are moments that I get very frustrated or stressed out. I think what I like to do, honestly, I used to be such a huge emotional eater. I went to therapy. Like, one of the reasons why I went to therapy is because I emotional eat. Like, that's...
I think there's a lot of people like that out there.
Yeah. So when I'm like upset, when I'm sad, like I just stuff myself, and that makes me feel so much better. So thankfully, this year was the year that I stopped doing that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and that took me such a long time to get to this point, right, where I just stopped emotionally eating. So I think now what I do is I have to address the problem head on. So one, I either talk to it, I either talk about whatever is frustrating me to a friend that I trust, because I realize I'm a very vocal person. Once I talk, it helps me see it out, and it helps me rationalize it a lot better, and then I can calm myself down when I say that, hey, actually this issue is solvable, it's not as big as you think it is. So talking about it really helps. I think that is my go-to, like when I feel really, really upset, talking. And then number two, definitely watching Netflix.
Oh, that's
Actually, no, maybe not, because when I watch Netflix, my mind can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I think reading helps a lot, because with reading you have to really focus on each word to understand.
That's true. Because if you're stuck, in your thoughts, you're just gonna go through the pages and you don't even realize what you're reading.
Shit,
That's happened
I
to me
didn't
many
get
times.
anything,
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, so I would say that you're more of a, now since you transitioned into this where you are now, you would say you're a bit more positive, right?
Yeah.
More positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've always been a very positive person, but I think now I can extend that same kind of positivity to myself. Does that make sense? Yeah.
You never really, do you have like an outlet where you kind of, you can kind of, if you ever get really frustrated, do you ever channel that elsewhere? Friends, gym,
Like when I get frustrated and I do a workout, I usually get a damn good workout.
Really?
Because when you have so much adrenaline in you, like your focuses just like hones in, and you just want to get the reps done, and I feel like I can lift a bit stronger. So I think one channel is definitely working out, training. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're all alike on that.
Yeah. You can relate.
Yeah. I think everyone who's having like a bad day or going through something, you go to it. You just take it out on the weights.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I agree with you there.
And the good thing about the weights, they don't talk back.
Yes. Like, take it, bitch.
You're gonna take what I give you.
Okay. We're gonna flip the switch here.
Okay.
Now, I'm just curious. You've have you ever used any like dating apps before, or you don't believe in dating apps?
No,
I'm just
because this is an interesting question. Because the year I met my Faiz, my husband, we got together. The next year, that's when dating apps blew up. So when all my friends around me were getting to Tinder for the first time, I'm already hooked down, guys.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I never had a chance.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then this won't really, that question I was going to ask you just won't apply to you then. That's why I was curious to see if you used it. Oh, okay.
No.
You are one of those lucky individuals.
Yeah, I met my college sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, which college did you go to?
I went to Trinity Foundation in Melbourne.
Oh, in Melbourne. Oh, so both of you guys you met in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's why you met at the little coffee.
The 7 Seeds.
Yeah. 7 Seeds. Okay.
Okay, so why we said 7 Seeds is because Dennis has this jar of coffee beans.
It's from 7 Seeds.
It's from 7 Seeds.
So it just happens to be a place where they met for the first time.
Hey, no, not met, but I was like, first date.
First date.
And I was like, because we've met before that, but then our first official date was at 7 Seeds. Yeah, so I was like, hey,
shit,
something close to home right here.
Got memorabilia.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's. 2019 is closing, right? So we're gonna look into 2020. What are your? Maybe you don't have to give me 3, but what are your? Just give me anywhere from like, what are your biggest goals for 2020?
Ooh, okay.
For yourself,
For myself?
Yeah.
So the first goal is I have a comp. You know that I have a comp. I have a bikini body so I have a bodybuilding competition
This is the first
And-
time you're doing competition,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
in Melbourne in March. So I think that's my first short-term goal where I can see it.
Mm.
And
it's coming up.
And it's coming up, so that helps me really focus on every day. Helps me prioritize things. So that's my goal. I really want to do amazing. I want to do the show and leave thinking, oh, okay, that was the best that I did. I gave 100%. And the next time, so I have no regrets, because I know that I didn't shortchange myself. I didn't go 80 or 90. Yeah, so that's one goal that I have. My second goal will be I want to learn how to Olympic lift.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So that's like a long term
for next
goal
year.
for next year.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And then my third one, I want to do another comp, but I'm thinking of doing maybe a powerlifting one.
Powerlifting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think those are all very solid goals.
Yeah.
The
Something achievable and is measurable.
Yeah.
I can track them.
You know, the thing is, because as a coach and also someone who is very into fitness, we always like to learn new skills, and we also like to be involved, because that's what keeps us going, right? That's what keeps us, we get our fuel, get our drive from doing that, and we don't stagnate. So I think that's a very big thing. You gotta get outside of your comfort zone. Going into your bodybuilding competition is not as easy as everyone makes it sound, because you got to go through some
mental hardship.
Mental
man.
hardship.
You put a lot of stress on your body as well.
You got to be very disciplined.
Yeah.
And I think that actually, speaking from experience, it carries over into a lot of things that you do, because if you can be disciplined in what you eat, and that's usually the hardest part, you'll realize how it sets you into in a better place in other areas of your life. Yeah.
Because it's what I call a capstone habit, right? If you know how to have good eating habits, these are the habits that are going to be carried over and affect all the other habits that you have, right? Because usually food is such an emotional thing to us. If we can control something like food and not let it control us, imagine all the other areas in our lives that we think that we have no control, but we actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just one way of looking at it.
That's true. Good point. Well, I think, seeing yourself, as a coach, get outside of your comfort zone to go for these things, it's gonna serve as I would say, motivation, right, for your clients as well.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, they look up to you as a role model, right?
I hope so.
Well, I'm sure they do,
Yeah.
or else they wouldn't
Yeah.
train underneath you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a good way for me to tell my clients that, hey, I walk the talk. Listen to what I say, because I know
what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing.
I've been through it.
I've been through it.
Yes, that's the
I know
biggest
how
thing,
hard
yes.
it is. Just trust the process. Trust me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Biggest thing, you gotta put yourself through it so you understand how it feels.
Exactly.
You cannot coach someone if you have never done it yourself. Personally, for me, I'm speaking that it tends to work better because you can relate. When you can relate to someone, it goes much further.
Yeah, the connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I think that by the end of the session, you guys are gonna know Sarah like
A lot more.
damn. So we're almost out of time. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you one more thing.
Okay.
And you gotta and this one question might really just throw off everyone's perception of you. So they might have think, "Oh, this is a really good coach. Like, oh, she's so motivating." But I think after they hear this question, they might be like, "Well,
Okay.
well now."
I'll retract everything. Do a double take on that, Sarah.
So,
Okay.
this is
Okay, come on.
you pause it, right? So you guys see positivity in this question. So you got two things you gotta choose from.
Okay.
Brushing your teeth or wiping your butt. You have to give up one. Which one and why? You have to answer it.
No. Wait, but brushing with a toothbrush or brushing full stop?
Cleaning your teeth in general. Okay, don't go around the books there.
Okay, actually, I'll go. Okay, hold on. Okay, I got it. Okay. I would give up wiping my ass because I wash it with water anyway, with a bidet, right? So the drying is only I only so I only dry it with a tissue because when I pet it, it's already dry. I mean, it's already clean.
Yeah.
But I can't give up brushing my teeth. Like, teeth is such a huge thing for me.
Touche, because and you only get away with that, I guess, here in Asia because we actually have a bidet.
Yeah.
If other US, for example, they don't.
They don't.
So
There's actually a few Asian countries that don't have as well,
Yes.
like Singapore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you went around the books. I knew you were gonna choose that one because I would have chose that one.
Yeah.
Because it would be really disgusting to talk to someone.
And you're a coach,
Yes.
dude. Like, they can't smell your ass, but they can smell your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Touche.
Okay. All right. You got away there by the books. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all the time we have for this chapter. Okay.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for listening.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is chapter 4. Remember, we come out with 2 podcasts every month. Okay.
Every 2 weeks.
Yes, every 2 weeks. Okay. So just stay tuned. We're gonna have more topics for you guys, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so this was just a little icebreaker for the listeners from us, where you guys can just get to know your host a little better.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Cool. Thank you guys. We're signing off now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.